Dr. Kannan, I hope now you can start your presentation. After your presentation, we will make all the people unmute, then Madam will join with us. So it's a humble request to Dr. Kannan. Please, sir, you can start.
Yeah, okay. Hello, good afternoon from India to all of you. I feel extremely happy to be here today in this international seminar on sustainability and smart villages. I'm doubly happy because American College, where I stayed for 7 years and studied my pre-university bachelor's and master's, and I also worked as a faculty for a year. And I'm also happy that the Tamil Heritage Foundation, which I co-founded with Dr. Subashini, consider actually natural heritage or the natural environment as part of our heritage. We call in Tamil as Mudusam. The Mudusam is something you inherit from your ancestors. So our natural environment is also we inherit from our ancestors. And so Tamil Heritage Foundation is extremely happy to be involved in this one. The third thing I really appreciate Miss Jacqueline Chang, who is actually the person behind actually selecting Miss Webri from Indonesia. She actually conducts this international circular economy club. She's from Malaysia, and she's very happy participating, interacting with many of the global environmentalists, and she is very ready to help me out in making this international seminar. Sorry, I do hear a noise from somewhere. Whose noise is that?
Friends, it's a humble request to all our friends. Please mute yourself, except speakers, because sometimes we have to get a quality presentation from speaker. It's a humble request to all our friends, please.
Somebody is not yet unmuted. Who is talking? Please stop. Okay, good. As I told you, like I'll start this presentation with a PowerPoint. Somebody is keep talking. That really interferes with my talking. I hope they will stop it. Good. So see, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you the concept of smart villages. So I'm not going into the details. It's only a concept paper. Every point that I give here, there are lots of facts behind that, and there's a lot of data and science behind it. But what I'm going to present to you is only...
Excuse me, Dr. Kannan, sir. Sorry for troubling you.
Yes.
1 second, we will unmute all the people. Then we will ask you to present. 1 second, sir.
Yeah.
You can unmute again. Then you can join, please.
Okay.
Please, sir. Now you can join, please.
Okay, so I unmute this and share the screen again. 1 second.
I hope now you will have no problem, please.
Yes, you are right. You are right. Okay. Good. So let's start from the universe to begin with. See, for example, as you see here, you're all very familiar with the image of a planet Earth. And what is so special about the planet Earth? The planet Earth is the only living planet in the entire known universe. When I say known universe, science is progressing. Science is proposing that there may be planets like Earth elsewhere in the universe, but still, for us, for humans, there is only one home, and that is planet Earth, and it's called as a blue jewel. And so this is a point we need to actually remember throughout this talk. We are talking about our home, and the home is in trouble. That's what we are going to discuss about it. And if you look at this planet Earth, you know, it hasn't happened just in a day or two or in 2 weeks of time. Science reveals that planet Earth, it took nearly 4 billion years to evolve. You know, in this 4 billion years, we call it as a geological age. You know, like so, 4 billion years, the first billion years or so was as full of bombardment, and meteor shower, and it was totally a hostile environment. And only about a billion years later, the planet Earth slowly started actually kind of breathable, in the sense before that it was full of obnoxious gases, and the planet was not actually, as we see now, breathable with oxygen. Okay, so if you consider this 4 billion years and put it is in one clock, okay, like it took the 4 billion years as 12 hours, okay, then you will see here actually the origin of life began only at 4 o'clock in the morning. Till then, there was no life at all. It was a dead planet. So around 4 o'clock in the morning, the life began. And then around, for example, about 2 p.m., the single-celled organisms start coming, the algae. Imagine, it took so long for the planet Earth to create one single-celled organism. It took 2 billion years or more. Okay, so only around 2 o'clock in this clock that life began, and then what we see as male and female and the sexual reproduction began only around 6 o'clock in the evening. Okay, so late actually. And then you start seeing jellyfish and trilobites and other organisms, and the land plant, what we see here, as full of plants and life, around. And that took only nearly about 10 o'clock in the night only it started coming up. Okay, and the dinosaurs came and vanished around 11 p.m. In the night, and the humans. Okay, he's the last arrival on this planet Earth. If you look at this evolutionary scale. And he entered planet Earth at 11:58:45, almost the last minute. Okay, only at the last minute, sorry, he made an entry into planet Earth. This is very important to see that some of the insects and the fish are much older than us. Okay, and we need to really respect other living beings. It is very important to see that we are the last arrival in this planet Earth. But the unfortunate thing is, though we are the last arrival in this planet Earth, okay, what we have done in the last 50 years, okay, if you consider this global living planet index, just in the last 50 years, we exterminated 60% of wildlife in this planet Earth. What a tragic thing, you see. Among the 16,704 populations, representing about 4,000 species. Now, the scientists have carried out this index, and they realized that in the last 50 years, we lost 60%. Not only that, actually, what happened was, we start actually removing the rainforest, like in Amazon, as well as in Borneo, okay? So, nearly in the last 50 years, again, about 20% of the Amazon forest has been removed. And remember, these tropical forests are considered as the lungs of planet Earth. And so we are removing our own lungs. And while I was in the kiosk in Korea, a scientist from Environmental Protection Agency, USA, showed us, in his presentation, opening up a gullet, one of the seabirds, and showing that it's full of plastics. And there are islands in the Pacific where birds die because they were eating all the plastic. And that was only 5% in 1960, but now 90% of the world's seabeds are all estimated to have fragments of plastic. So plastic is a major pollution on planet Earth. And only in the last century, we have lost nearly a high extinction rate for the freshwater fish. That is another tragic thing. And over several thousand years of measurements, the scientists have found the global average temperature has risen about 170 times. So that means from the background level. So a lot of things are happening around, and now we are in the so-called climate crisis. So climate change is no joke. It is serious. It is happening right there. The average global temperature on planet Earth is increasing about 0.8 Celsius. Okay. You may from 1880. You may say, what is this big increase of zero point 0.8 Celsius? But this particular zero point 0.8 Celsius on a global level actually put half of plants and animals on planet Earth at risk. Okay, so it has far-reaching consequences on planet Earth. And because of our industrialization and the production of carbon dioxide, we pump in about 2 billion tons of carbon dioxide into the ocean as a result of acidifying the ocean. Because of this acidification, lot of species are getting extinct. And the other dangerous thing, what's happening is this there is a seawater rise. The sea levels are rising about 1 to 6 feet before the end of this century. And what does it mean? Sea level rise, okay, of this scale would completely inundate low-lying areas like Bangladesh and the Netherlands, and Manhattan will be gone. And a large portion of India on the coastline will be because of this sea level rise. And another dangerous thing, I've been watching here in India. Now I'm in India and locked up because of the corona. And from the last August, August, September, October, all these 3 months is very cloudy, rainy in the southern state. I have never seen so much of rain, but these are all predicted, because of the moisture content on the atmosphere. Rains are predicted, and so extreme events. Look at the high temperature in Germany, 40 degrees, and in Canada about 42 degrees. And these are all happening. The extreme events are happening more frequently these days because of the climate change and our impact. The unfortunate a report says that humanity consumes 1.75 times more natural resources than our planet Earth can regenerate. Okay, so that means we are over consuming. What does it mean? So imagine that you have been given a salary. Normally, we are given a salary on the first day of the month, and then we take 31 days to spend the time. Spend the money. Okay. Imagine that you have been given a 1 year salary. Okay, and how much you will spend it within that 1 year period. It's very unfortunate, countries like Qatar and Luxembourg will spend all the money within the first 2 months. Okay, and most of the other European countries like Germany, France, Norway, and other things may take a few more months. They may hold on till April, May, and then the money is gone. Okay, and most of the developing countries probably they pull on till July and August and up to September, and then the money is gone. Okay, and in this chart, it's only Indonesia. Probably Webri may feel it happy that they hold on till April 18th or so. So it is supposed to be, that reflects that how much utilization and your consumption rate. And if you look at it, how many years do we need, if the world population lived like, let's say, USA, if you live a life like the Americans, okay, you need 5 planet Earths to survive. Okay, we don't have 5 planet Earths. We have only 1 planet Earth, right? The Australia needs 4.1 planet Earth. The Germany needs 3 Earths to survive. The Japan is 2.81. Unfortunately, this chart shows India needs 0.7 Earth extra. Okay, that's a good sign, and that's partly because this is what I insist that recently, after coming out to India during the COVID time, I initiated a new field called cultural ecology or cultural environmentalism. The low rate, what you see in India is mainly because the Indian seers, the saints, and the Indian culture itself is essentially sustainable. They try to live a simple life, but a happy life. Okay, so there are plenty of actually cultural heritage which is not spoken much, which is hidden, which I am trying to reveal slowly, which I call it as cultural environmentalism. So naturally, most of the planet Earth, with humans living mostly on the coastlines, okay, and the urban population is not going to move away from the cities there are going to be more people living on cities. 66% in 2050. What does it mean? That means you have an extra 125% more demand for resources. I already told you we don't have resources. We have stolen the future of our children and grandchildren, and we are living on a stolen resources of our future generation. And it says we need another 90 billion extra to sustain about 2.5 million extra people in the cities. So everywhere, whether it is in Africa or in Asia or Latin America or in more developed countries, like this trend is going on. So instead of having more plants, trees and other things, what we have is, instead of a real jungle, we have actually a concrete jungle. And the worst news is that China is planning to migrate 260 million people from villages to cities. Just imagine what would be the catastrophic effect of this migration on planet Earth. And what this creates, a lot of problems to the environment, okay, a pollution and a whole lot of things. And an estimate says about 13 million deaths could be prevented if we improve our environment. I was very surprised to get this news from a friend from Environmental Protection Agency, USA, that 85% of all human diseases are caused by environmental reasons. Before, people were always telling us that it's a congenital, it is inherited, it's no more. 85% of human diseases, including the corona, is part of environmental damages. The corona is mainly because of habitat loss and wildlife mismanagement and a lot of other things. Okay, and so the environment accounts for 2/3 of the cancer in the USA. And so if it is a congenital reason, then we can't change the gene, which even now we could do that, but still, but you can change your environment. Okay, when I say environment, like it involves industrial chemicals. That is my second PhD in Japan. On agricultural chemicals, my first PhD in India. And then byproducts of combustion like PAHs and dioxins and BTEX and a whole lot of other chemicals which I worked in Malaysia. And then about infectious agents and then the microbiomes and food nutrients and prescription drugs. Drug is a pollution. Probably this is another topic, I can take and talk about it in a course, actually, a coursework. Okay. So all these things form the so-called our current environment. And we are like this little child, who is sleeping innocently, okay, without realizing any of these problems. That's the dangerous thing. And I was very surprised to see that normally you may say, okay, if there's an air pollution, I get this cough because of the air pollution. During the corona time, I never get any cold or cough. But now they opened up the things and plenty of air pollution now. Normally, you will imagine an air pollution will give a pulmonary disease or, let's say, asthma, things like this. But my friend from USA told me that air pollution can cause obesity. Can you believe that? Autism. And then in developmental disabilities, and the air pollution can affect your IQ. Mind that. So air pollution is dangerous. And actually, like when I came to India during this corona time, I told people more than corona, the people dying out of pollution, especially air pollution, is more. People never understood that. But that is the fact. Well, having said all those things, it's not a hopeless situation. Yes, planet Earth is finite. We know its resources are very limited, but human possibilities are not, you see. Like we have foresight, okay? We have innovation, we can create things and we care each other, okay? So with these faculties, what we can do, we could focus on cities, which is causing most of the problems, the current problems, okay? There are initiatives on smart cities. I was working on smart city project in Taylor's University in Malaysia. But we are going to talk about an alternative smart villages, okay? And we need to focus on energy. The most of the global economy is running on fossil fuels, okay? The whole economy is actually petrol-based economy. That needs to change. And then about our dietary habits and changeover, a low carbon diet, going a meat-free diet is highly recommended. And then we need to take care of planet Earth. Planet Earth is so big for us, we don't know how to take care of it. But every little things what we do here at your backyard will certainly help. And then naturally, the population is increasing in a tremendous rate, and we need to control the population. And so, is smart cities an answer to this? No, it is not. Rather, actually, a smart village is an answer. And India has a tradition of village panchayat, and Gramaraj, that's what Gandhi proposed first, okay? So, Indians are used to actually living in villages, and the lifestyle is so suitable for Indians. So, a smart village is an eco village, okay? It is ecologically concerned, and it is an organic village where no chemicals, and it's all going to be circulation, recirculation, and making it organic. It's going to be a well-being village in the sense like you don't have much pollution. You're going to have a very healthy living. And the last, a smart village is going to take all the advantages of the technology such as artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things and a whole lot of things. So a smart village is a digital village. Okay. So the smart village have the following uh, things. For example, it will be self-sustained. Okay. Self-sustenance is a very important thing. Namalwar, an organic farmer in Tamil Nadu, often says, don't take anything out of your field and don't bring anything out into the field. Okay. So that means it has to be self-sustained. Okay. And the smart village ought to be energy efficient. So we don't waste energy. Okay. And it should take circular economic principles, which Webri will talk about it soon. Okay. And it should be smart in waste management and to go for zero waste living and low carbon living, following United Nations, okay, sustainable development goals. Okay, as I told you, we'll follow IoT, work from home, and if possible, homeschooling, and promoting handicrafts and other village-based industrial things. And so, what this smart village will have. See, what we are proposing is live spaciously. Don't go on skyscrapers. India still has land. Okay. So let's have a land space of an acre. Okay. And then have a farmhouse somewhere in the middle or left or right or Vastu Sastra, wherever it says. But live with a farm surround you, with greenery surround you. Okay. And let this greenery be a native plants, a native trees, okay, and maintain a wonderful vegetable garden and follow organic farming, okay, and eco housing, a team of engineers, probably they have joined us here, and they are our team. We have developed actually eco housing, which I'm going to explain in the next slide, that how it is sustainable. Okay, so we are actually like in the formation of a gated community of eco-friendly people. So I'm going this Sunday to visit that facility near my American college, near Aragar Koil in the Aragar Koil foothills. And we are in the process of making, and I think that the investors are also here today. I have given them invitation to join this forum. And so what is an eco housing? An eco housing starts with the construction material, which is not actually the red brick, which normally we use. It creates so much of pollution. Okay. but we'll go with clay bricks or fly ash bricks, which is stronger and less polluting. Okay, and the eco house will have totally powered by solar energy. Okay, so we don't buy any electricity from the electricity board. Okay, and a solar powered water heating system. Okay, a solar powered air circulation system. If you want, we could have air conditioners, but we prefer not to have air conditioners. Okay, and rainwater. Rainwater is a key factor because, as I told you, the current prediction with this climate change and the global warming is most tropical countries will get more rain. So that's a good news. So we'll get plenty of rain and we'll harvest all those rain for various reasons. You know, we store that water for your own drinking purposes, cooking and washing and other things, household purposes. But at the same time, like we use the sump, which is where this is stored as a kind of a cooling. You know, this is like an air conditioning effect. We are planning to do that, and the air which is entering into your home will be filtered so that no more indoor pollution. Okay, and the gray water as well as the dark water is properly treated. A gray water will be filtered and getting back to your toilets and other washing facilities, whereas dark water which is coming out of your toilet, that will go to certain facility where they'll be completely digested and being reused. No septic tanks. So this system has biodigesters. And as I told you, you have air current flows. And it has other factors too. For example, these eco houses will have aerodynamically designed low powered fans. You know, these fans are now currently used in aircrafts. You know, when you fly, you see fans, but they consume only very, very low electricity. Okay, we will implement that kind of fans in your house. And as I told you, the whole house will have a particle filter, even particle PM 2.5 will be filtered so that you will have a clean air at your home. And in addition, we will have plants, you know, which will absorb, you know, whatever CO2 and other things are produced in your house. Okay. And then we'll implement the local design terracotta refrigerator, terracotta water things, and the whole house will be actually having sensors for carbon dioxide and temperature, and a whole lot of sensors will be installed, and that will be totally managed by Internet of Things and artificial intelligence. So that if you have a gated community, okay, an energy overflow in a house will be diverted to the next house, or if you are in a larger community with hundreds of houses, the energy flow will be in a totally beautifully maintained system, okay, in a homeostatic state, so that nothing is really wasted. And so we'll have a terrace garden if you want, okay. We could also have a normal garden and mosquito repellent plants. And when I was very surprised to see in Malaysia, a very small area, but my Malaysian friends maintained it without mosquitoes. You know, there are mosquito repellent plants can do that beautifully. Okay, and so we also controlled the wrong entry of any wildlife like snakes and things into a house. That will be taken care of. So organic farming, coming to organic farming. And so the basic concept is normally when you have a community, you will try to fence yourself with a wall, okay, so that you think that the others should not watch you. But here the principle is just opposite. You watch others and others watch you. In the sense, not your privacy, but instead your greenery. Okay, so that when will you get satisfaction when you see greenery all around you? So don't have fences. The fences would be again a life fences, that is long trees, you know, like you can plant all those trees as a fence so that your entire gated community will be green, okay, and plant fruit trees so that they will yield fruits, and wood trees for managing future as an investment, okay, and your garden, if you maintain it, you know, carefully, and if you get involved a little bit, you know, an organic farmer, a friend of mine has told me that if you generate a little bit of gardening and vegetables, you will be earning something like 3,000 rupees per day, okay, of organic, organically grown vegetables, okay. And one can also have a herbarium, and then one can have millets, lentils, and the groundnut if you want, okay. And so what we want is that get away from this urban life, with this concrete jungle. Come out and have a relationship with the plants, the farm animals. We want to have pets as well as chicken, goat. And though we recommend their meat-free, low-carbon lifestyle, but still these animals can be of extremely useful for organic farming. And then you can have a pool, a water pool in your backyard, either for an aquatic farming, or you could even use it as a swimming pool if you want. Okay, so I'm coming to the last few slides. So the long range benefits of such a plan, of an ecologically sound smart villages is that this is an excellent alternative for the urban living. As I told you, urban living is very heavy, okay, and it's power saving, waste producing, okay, energy demanding, and very expensive. Instead, the smart villages would be circular economy, self-sufficient, sustainable. Okay, and as I told you, this is going to be digital. Once it is digital, digital India dream will be actually met with very easily. Okay, and so you empower the residents, you empower the village people, you empower the women who is there. Okay, so we encourage local village craft, small scale industries. I saw that very clearly here during the COVID time here. The big industries have slept, and all the small industries that really maintained India, these little industries, and all these vegetables coming from your backyard and from your neighboring villages, that's what sustained India during this COVID time. So it is possible to take the same lifestyle if you go for a smart village concept. Okay. So in general, a zero waste principle, so that you don't waste anything. So you cut the waste right at the source. Okay. Yeah. Low carbon living, which ultimately will benefit planet Earth, and all the climate crisis and other things which I have narrated will be minimized if we take a smart village concept. So it's a schematic diagram to show you that how it could be like each box is a kind of an acre of land where you have a farmhouse wherever you want. You can put it, and you can grow trees, and you can have vegetable farms, or you can grow millets and whatever you want. Do it in an acre of land is a lot of space. You can do a lot of things with that. Okay, and coming to the last few slides. Okay, so persons like Stephen Hawking. So originally he thought like human species will move over to the present crisis. If we have completely spoiled the planet Earth, probably we will move over to other planets. But that will take another few thousand years. That's what his prediction, if human species survive till then. But now his last prediction is in a world that is in chaos, politically, socially, and environmentally, how can the human race sustain another 100 years? This is a very, very drastic prediction. Okay, if we don't sustain in next 100 years, okay, what are we going to do? That's why the Tamil Heritage Foundation has started a new initiative called Mudusam Kapom. That means save our heritage. Okay, our heritage includes natural heritage. And so the scientists have given us a 12-year ultimatum. Okay, if you don't do anything within the next 12 years, you cross already the tipping point, and then you enter into a era of no returns. Okay, that's what again, like Stephen Hawking, when he was talking to BBC, said, we are close to the tipping point where global warming becomes irreversible. Okay, he was mentioning the US President Trump. So if Trump's action could push the earth over to a brink, okay, to become like Venus, Imagine the planet Venus with a temperature of 250 degrees and raining sulfuric acid instead of rainwater. Okay, this is a very drastic prediction, and these things can happen. But nevertheless, it is possible. It is possible that we can stop this if we act smart, if you apply innovative ideas. And as I told you, uh, the smart village is an innovative idea that we are proposing. As I told you, this is only a concept paper. I have given you the concept, and the details are there with us. Like if you want to go for collaboration with American College, we are planning to go, and there are two other partners who are listening to me today, and we are going with them for actually showing that how these things will work. And my engineers are also listening. They are with me here, and they know the technical details. If you want to contact me, I've given you my WhatsApp number here. Please note down, or you just have a print screen. You take a screenshot of this page, and then you will know my WhatsApp number as well as my email address. Or you can always contact the organizers. They will actually redirect your inquiries to me. And I take this opportunity to thank you all. And I thank American College and Tamil Heritage Foundation for giving me the chance to present our concept of smart villages. Thank you very much. Thank you.